Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
See? Yeah. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy
I
Friday.
cannot believe it's Friday already.
I know.
Seems like the week just absolutely blew by for us, which is either good or bad, I guess, depending upon how you look at it. Farm Ranch Homestead, good evening. Jean Menke, welcome in. City Green says, great evening to all from the monsoon state of Texas. You would not think of Texas as a monsoon state. Luis Wesley said, hello, everyone. We hooked up our water this week, and they are moving our shipping containers as we speak. Yeah, big victories to them. And I specifically wanted to highlight this comment because, they've been through kind of a whirlwind getting everything going. And, I'm not going to go into details because that's for them to share. But it's nice to see them having some victories. And I know they are super excited about having some victories as well. Yep. Nitos, how are you, my friend? Hello. Karen, welcome in. Who else we got? Greatest name on the internet.
Half bubble, half bub.
In the house, Eagle Lover, Texas, confirms that they live in a monsoon state. And American Roots Farm, good evening. Welcome in. You guys got a lot of stuff going on too. Yep, I think I said hello to City Greens. I think I did. Yeah. I did. Okay, good. Started dope. Good evening. I hope you're feeling well. Scott, what's up? Scott's a buddy of mine. How's it going? Let me see here. What do we got here? Eagle Lover Texas says one good thing about all this rain is that it has dropped the temps here below 90, but the trade-off is giant mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, the famous Life with Mike and Jen is in the house. That's Jen. How are you, my friend? One Step Closer's in the house. Good to see you. See Beth Emily, welcome in. Grateful Hearts Ranch, welcome in. Carrie Davis, how are you? What'd she say? Carrie Davis says, howdy y'all, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
I'm totally buying those doors just because of you, Carrie Davis. The girls' bathroom's totally going to say blah, 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 blah. And then at the very bottom, I'm going to write Carrie Davis. Just because. I think I said hello to Skanes Girl. How are you, my friend? Gregory, welcome. JB, hello. Stan, hello. Nurse Wang, how are you? And the famous Indiana Mike, ahoy to you, my friend. Yep. All right, cool. I think I'm caught up. What you got first?
I saw your Facebook post about
what?
And what you two were talking about on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
First thing on my list is I got to mow.
Yeah, and use this like an exciting thing.
Yeah, I got to mow with my new tractor. So I got to learn how to hook up a 3-point mower, and got to learn how to crawl through the field when the stuff is really, really high.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't boggle down the mower. It took 2 days. I had 13 hours on my tractor, I think, when I started.
Yeah.
And I have, I think, 29.
Yeah, about 30 hours. Oh my goodness.
I know. And I put most of that on there in 2 days.
Yeah.
But I got a lot mowed. Did you see what I did down here at the bottom field? How he said, don't zigzag through the field,
right,
but get the concentrated Les Visa knocked down. And so I tried not to zigzag through the field, but it was hard to get big patches without, go over here and get this one. Oh, go over there and get that one. There was some sprigs here and there, but I got all, I think, of the thick stuff knocked down.
Yeah, which is good, right?
Yeah. And I got to learn how to do it.
Yep. Vicky Pullen, good evening to you. Mandy Garrett, how are you, my friend? Mandy says, hello, got stung by a wasp on my leg. Make plantain poultice really help with the sting.
Nice.
We have plantain growing everywhere. Yeah. Louise says your pasture looks great, by the way. Instigator says it's not zigzagging. The rows were straight before the sun warped them.
Yeah,
something like that, right?
Zigzagged it. Yeah.
And Mandy says you're wearing her favorite shirt.
Yeah, this is my
the blue does look good on you.
Line.
Yeah, blue does look good on you. All right, cool. What else you got? The owl.
So I think we have an owl that is hanging out on the property. That's the only thing I can think of. We've lost will an owl take away a turkey, a full-size turkey hen?
So some bird did.
Something took away our full-size turkey hen, drug it all the way to the back pasture. So that was, gosh, probably over 1,200 feet, because this is 1,200 feet. So, and that I saw her feathers over there. But then
and it was a bird, guys, because they ate it on top of the community building.
Yeah,
I found a leg up there. That's why I knew that.
So when we were over at the community building, he said there was some like chewed up meat on the top of this pillar. I thought, well, that was really weird. And then he said, "Oh, well, they got a bird because look over here, and over there was a leg and some feathers and some like parts and like meat parts." And then I was in the chicken run, and there were 5 wings, just like with the feathers still on it and everything. It was just like broke right off the body, and the wings were just like all over the yard. There were 5 of them.
Hello, Lisa. Welcome in.
So
hey, one step closer says, I didn't know owls would go after something that big. The problem is it's only happening at night. It's not happening during the day. And someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think a hawk or an eagle hunts at night. You correct me if I'm wrong.
I did see a red-tailed hawk kind of swoop down, but that hawk is significantly smaller than that turkey hen.
Oh yeah, yeah. My bet's an owl, but
and then something is so we've lost a turkey hen and at least 2, at
least 3 chickens. Yeah.
The speckled Sussex, of course, because those were the smaller of the birds, which is weird. Why would it take the smaller of the birds? Whatever it was, it just snapped the wings right off, because what was left was just a tiny little bit of bone left.
Hey, Gypsy, congratulations! They're getting their containers moved from one property to another tonight.
Yeah, what a win!
Which is super, super cool. Yes, at night. Gotcha. Yes, see, at night's the reason why I'm not sure.
So I also, on top of the black tank, what is that, a 3,000 gallon tank? So that 3,000 gallon tank is laying on its side. So how tall is it right now?
6 feet.
That's only 6 feet tall. So you can reach the top of it?
Oh yeah.
The side of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so on top of that, I couldn't reach it. I had to use a piece of cardboard down there.
You're 3 feet tall.
There was like a whole gizzard on top of the water tank.
Yeah.
So it could not have been a dog. It could not have been a bobcat. It could not have been.
One step closer says it's a rogue Sasquatch.
Right.
And Nito says, oh yeah, owls will go after animals as big as they are.
How big are owls, though?
They get to be pretty good size.
As big as a turkey hen? I mean, she was pretty big.
Yep, it will be cool. Good evening to you. Yep, Jen says that it has to be aliens.
She was the bigger of our hens. And her leg, that's how you knew it was the turkey when you saw it, because of the size of the leg.
Yeah, with a big leg. Gregory says, what kind of owls do you have around your place? I've never seen an owl here. Now, we've heard a couple of them, but I've never seen one, so I don't have any idea what kind they are. But again, it's only happening at night. So, and it's happening at night, and it's a bird. And I know it's a bird because, again, it ate one of them at the peak of the community building. Yeah. And it's just rafters. The plywood's not on it.
Yeah.
And so it's up there sitting on it. So it has to be
Ariel.
It has to be Ariel. It just has to be.
Well, at least that has to be.
Yeah.
Well, it has to be, because I don't know how else they'd get into the the chicken run.
Well, and a coyote babe's not going to go jump into the run, get a chicken, and go jump on top of the 3,000 gallon black tank and sit there and eat it.
Right.
I mean, it's just not going to.
Parts up there.
It's just not going to. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Raccoons like to rip parts off, and possums. Yeah. The problem is where it was. I mean, unless you guys think it's likely a raccoon would climb all the way to the top of a rafter.
Well, and then eat some over here, and then eat some over here, and then eat some over there, because there was several spots on the building that it had like stood on the top of it and ate.
Yeah. Hey, Dorothy, welcome in. Yeah, I don't know, but it's hard to lose them. But you know, this is an interesting topic. You can lock them up. I can make it to where we don't lose any.
Put a thing over the top.
Well, no, and lock and leave them. But that means the
Mm.
quality of life they're going to have is going to be far less than if I let them go. And, we talk about freedom, and does that only apply to us?
Yeah. No, she wandered all the time.
Yeah. And it cost her life, but she had a great life, and they, free range their whole lives.
Mhm.
And we've done everything we can. We've got a fence, a big fence around a huge area they can stay in, but it's just not going to help when it comes to an owl, and it's just not. And, I guess that's just what that is.
Crazy too, like how you have the run inside the chicken run. You have those poles with 2x4 stretched across them, so they really have to like come in and go like they have to like maneuver around a bunch of stuff in order to land in there.
Yeah. Raccoons, as Will Be Cool says, raccoons can climb really well. Yeah, but I just don't see them grabbing one, going clear to the other side of my property, climbing up on the community building and eating them from the top of a rafter. That just doesn't.
Unless the dog was after it.
Yeah, but even then, I still don't see it. I mean, I'd see them just going right up a tree close or something. I don't have any idea.
Plus, I think that the dogs would have heard that, like something scurrying around the ground.
Yeah. Grave Heart says, if you have owls, does that mean you also have mice? We definitely have mice.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Hey, Barbara, how are you?
Mouse problem.
Yeah, Carrie says maybe a trail cam. Yeah, I could put a trail cam in, but what do I do about it? Because the thing is, I can't sit out in the dark and just shoot wildly into the, at something.
In the dark.
I'm responsible for where that bullet goes. Right now, I could set out there some birdshot or something, and if I happen to get close, and if I'm quiet enough, maybe, but I'm just not sure quite what to do about it. The turkey hen that kept me company in your greenhouse. That sucks. Yes, that's the one. It is no longer. That relationship is over forever. Mm-hmm. But it can live, Jen, in your memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Will Be Cool says probably a winged predator. That's what I thought too. Yeah, Biggie says put up a game cam.
I guess then we know what's going on.
Yeah, first thing is knowing what the problem is. Yeah.
Right.
Let's see here. Last week I saw a hawk snatch a sparrow in flight, not 10 feet from me in the yard. Yeah, and the problem is now they've killed enough of them. They know there's a food source here, so I've got to figure out what to do with them. I don't know what to do with them. Yep.
Right, because there's been several now. So.
Yeah. Gregory says he's gotten rid of 5 raccoons and a possum.
Last week.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yep. Yeah. Carrie says at least you know what you're dealing with. Yeah, I know. Again, then you still got to figure out what to do with when you know what you do with it. But I think it's just part of life, and I think this relates to every aspect of homesteading. Not all your tomatoes are going to produce.
Yeah.
Not all your fruit trees are going to fruit, and not all your animals are going to make it.
Right.
And, whether that's through a predator or whether that's through, disease, whether that's through other chickens that want to pounce on it or whatever, they're just not all going to make it. But the problem is the alternative, I think, is even worse, because if you just choose to lock them up, now what you've created is a bunch of dependence. And so now you're paying to feed them the whole time.
That, right? And then the disease and the pests, and you're more concentrated and more pecking. The issues get greater, I think, by limiting their ability to roam.
Yeah. Hey, Bonnie, welcome in. Can Squatch, how are you? Says Can Squatch has the other armadillo problems. We don't have armadillos here, but it's not very far from here. An hour and a half south of here, they have them, but I've never seen one up here. Garns for Life says, hi, hope you guys are doing well. We've got chickens with 3 levels of security, closing coops at night, electric poultry netting, and dogs. We're hopefully 98% safe. You know what's crazy is up until a week ago, we hadn't lost one yet this year. Not a single bird had died via a predator this year. And all of a sudden, bam. I have no idea. Yeah. Jen says, yes, she was so sweet. That sucks. Time for a ghillie suit and night vision predator hunt. Yep, I got you down. When would you like to start that hunt? Pack Rat, welcome in. Yeah, Hippocrates says everyone wants nature till nature starts doing nature stuff. Yeah, and I'm kind of in that same camp right there, that if you don't have pests, you don't have an ecosystem. And at the end of the day, I'm not trying to create dependence.
Right.
I don't want chickens that have to just depend on me. This is why we've changed our flock over the years to be the ones that are the most predator resistant and right. They're the ones that go out there and scavenge. They're the ones, and I'm continuing to try to move that, because again, I'm not trying to create, another dependent. We had a flock of crows strip our crab apples the last 2 days. Yeah, but I think that's kind of it right there, right? I mean, you have to plan for some of what you do is not going to happen.
Yeah.
And so if you need, 2 55-gallon drums of vegetables to make it through the year, you better have 3. Because
or 4.
Right, or plan on it, or plant for 3 or 4 because they're just not all going to make it.
Right. I was just thinking about that. Maybe if the crab apples were in several locations, then it
might make it easier.
Because like I've got squash that have been attacked by beetles.
Yeah, but there's another.
But only certain ones, not ones that are over here, but only the ones that are over here.
Yeah, there's another side to that though, babe, which is if you have them in 3, let's say you have crab apples in 3 locations, now you're attracting, you have 3 opportunities for something walking by to see it, instead of 1. But
yeah.
And Nino said, I have a skunk that keeps digging under my fence to visit or walk through the backyard. He's too smart for the trap, so we are going to set up an electric line close to the ground. That might stop it. It's Can Squatch says down 1.5 hours southeast of KC. Yeah, I see them. I drive down to Burlington all the time, and I see them down there, down south. Which I just have never seen one.
Armadillos down there.
Yeah, I see them dead on the road sometimes when I'm driving. Well, for one, with armadillos, they like to tunnel under things like concrete foundations, then they build nests.
Oh.
Yeah, dig nest holes into the dirt covering the storm shelter. Oh, lovely. I just tell my chickens to go with God every night. Yeah, that's kind of what we do. Yeah, that would be very interesting. Laugh out loud. The Rio Link cameras have a night vision system on them and are solar. Plus, you can talk to them. Freaked Mike out a few times. That'd be good for him, though, wouldn't it? Yeah, my chickens live in a big hoop coop I call Fort Knox. It's surrounded by cinder blocks. Yeah, we're not having any problem with them going under. I'm having a problem with the birds going over. And like I said, I can net very easily. I could net their coop, the short coop. Except then what?
Yeah, I don't want to do all that.
Yeah, but then what? What's the outcome of that? Aljo, how are you? Welcome from Southern California. That was my stomach. If you guys heard that, oh my goodness. All right, what else you got? Since we're done talking about death.
The owl.
Garden for Life says, would you recommend keeping a second flock separately? I like to plant the same plants in several locations in the garden. We've talked about building another one to like maybe put the rooster run somewhere else or some of those things. But again, then the problem is, for me, it's about energy capital also, and so if I've got to go to 2 totally different locations and stock 2 totally different foods, and now I have to have 2 water systems and I have to have 2 solar systems and I have to have, I don't know whether it'd be worth it or it wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah.
Well, Dan just got all the fallen pine trees cleared out of the orchard last week, and then the rain started. This year, I put fruit bags on our peaches, and we'll bag the crab apples next year. That's work. Hey, LJC's in the house. How are you, my friend?
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
I wouldn't want to bag the trees. Put bags around the trees to stop them from eating the fruit.
Yeah.
So one thing when it's hot, I've been working out in the garden when it's like morning time, and then when it gets hot, we go in and work in pod 4. I did get some harvesting done this week. Worked in the garden 2 days, and I got some onions and squash and zucchini. Some peppers, got bell pepper and jalapeno, got a crazy amount of elderberry, but like 6-gallon bucket of elderberry so far, and there's more to come. And then I also got tobacco.
How much are the pictures of that? Seeds,
tobacco seeds. Well, I mean, there's leaves up there I could take off and do something with, but I was able to, in the corn, there was a volunteer tobacco plant that just showed up. And so I just left it, and it produced seeds. So I pulled them, and I'm going to harvest them and save them.
Yeah, Pockers made me laugh. Said, finally getting to start on my main solar install into my off-grid shed, library, classroom, microscopy, lab, and bagpipe emporium. That's funny out there in the yard. That's funny. Yeah. So you want to show some pictures of your garden?
Sure.
So what we got going on here?
So that first picture is that tobacco plant, and you can see there's leaves on there. There's still pods on there. So I didn't get there from that one plant. I didn't get many pods, but they do have seeds in them. Did you have a picture of the seeds?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And then that's a tomato. I think that's an Abe Lincoln tomato. I meant to double check and look, but it's not a. It's clearly not
we don't have any red tomatoes yet. We have nothing that's ripe.
No, they're still green.
Yeah, peppers are ripe. You're getting lots of peppers, lots of jalapenos.
Peppers.
Lots of stuff like that, right?
Yeah, elderberry.
What do you got there?
Oh yeah, there's this. So there's some elderberry there. There's that's one little fan of them. Yeah. And I had. And
the purple stuff is phlox, right?
Yeah, that's tall phlox.
Tall phlox. And what do you got over there?
The other picture is the goji berries are producing, which I had not tasted before. So when you bite them, they have little like seeds that look like tomatoes in them. I harvested those goji berries. There's a pumpkin, or not pumpkin.
Cantaloupe. That's cantaloupe, right?
Yeah, cantaloupe. That's cantaloupe. There's cantaloupe underneath it.
Yeah, and this is what a food forest is, right? There's everything growing around everything else, right?
Yeah, and there's other stuff. There's fennel in there.
Yeah, I don't see the fennel.
I think it's this right here.
Okay. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in there.
Just on the left, yeah. All kinds of stuff. Lots of, and they seem to be doing well. So I'll keep an eye on them. Got the honeydew and muskmelon and watermelon and squash and zucchini all seem to be doing well.
And Gregory wants to know what varieties you have of elderberry.
I have 5 different varieties. 2 of them I wrote down in my book. I don't know. There's some that are like red on the stems, and then some that are just all green. I'm not sure.
Jen wants to know, or says that goji are best dried. Yeah, I don't think they taste very good, personally, but
then the seeds don't seem so bad.
Yeah.
So dry them. I was gonna cook them up with the elderberry. What do you think? Make some
elderberry goji berry jam.
Not jam. Elderberry syrup. Yeah, for like winter use.
Pancakes.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna add sugar to it.
Waffles.
I was gonna add. Oh, not that kind of syrup. Like medicine syrup.
Yeah, you clearly don't know what syrup is.
You want me to make it so that you can pour it over pancakes.
Yes, or waffles. I do.
Well, there's probably plenty because.
Yeah. David wants to know: do you have family members who are interested in homesteading? Not really. You know, I've got 2 grown boys who aren't anti this life at all. But
any family members, cousins.
No, not really.
Nieces, nephews.
Not really. Maybe someday when my boys get older, maybe they will. But as of right now, that would be a big no, David.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, Skanes Girl says, cool B, goji berries didn't do well here. I killed them along with my coffee plants last year. Garns for Life says, last year the zucchini seeds didn't start. This year I've got 15 plant. Oops. They're starting to fruit now. A crazy amount of them. Good problem to have, especially when you've got chickens.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with any of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and we cannot get goji to fruit in Europe. Tried many varieties. Yeah, we've never gotten them to fruit until this year, right? This is the first year you've actually had them fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First year I tasted them. First year, yeah.
Yeah. Jen says that would work. Your goji elderberry concoction. Yeah. See here. Tag has a bad cough most of the winter. No. No. I'm actually pretty lucky. I pretty much never get sick.
Oh.
Knock on wood, right? Mm-hmm. Yep, knock on wood. Pockety says elder go jam. You had to start with elder, didn't you?
Sounds like a laxative for senior citizen.
Backrad says the next homesteaders meeting will be about distilling a base for elderberry tincture. Oh, how cool is that? Is that videotaped? I'm sure Bede'd like to watch that. I think, right?
I do, yeah. I would like that.
You guys, you want to see another funny picture? So, well, guys, got to tell you a story about it
The
first.
tobacco.
Goji berry, banquet of consequences. Howdy, howdy. Goji berry and 100 proof vodka is a great tincture. Yeah. All right. So I had to go to the closest city to me where there's a Home Depot and all that stuff because I needed to get some building material for the community building. And I call B, which I normally do. It's pretty much anywhere I go. I usually talk to B at least once along the way and just chit chat while I'm driving down the road. Anyway, she said she was mowing, and I'm like, cool. And she says she thinks she got the mower stuck. You know, right? Did you get the mower stuck?
I got the mower stuck.
Yeah, so she has this little mower that she likes. She don't like my zero-turn mower. She wants her little mower. But
yeah.
Anyway, she said it got stuck, and then a little bit later, I get a picture that says,
I made it worse.
I made it worse. I thought I'd share it with you guys. So that's her mower. So
yeah, there's a hill just behind that, and I stopped it just shy of the wet spot.
What were you doing down by the pond?
I was on that hill, and I went to turn, and it started peeling out, and so I stopped. And I got off, and then I was going to like shimmy it over. Well, smart me, I took the brake off, and when I went to shimmy it, I like lunged it forward.
What in the world would make you think that pulling it down next to the water like that was a good idea?
It wasn't. So it didn't start there. That's where it ended. Like I said, I had enough common sense to stop it up the hill. I just couldn't get. I couldn't.
How far up the hill?
Like.
So when B says this, she really means this.
No.
Yeah.
Because that is. Did you push it like into the water? Because I don't remember it touching the water.
No, I took a picture of it right there. So, anyway.
Yeah, that was not fun.
Jen says at least it didn't go in the drink. Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day,
God.
And you know what's crazy about it? I just grabbed a hold of it and yanked it right out of there. It wasn't.
Yeah, well. I didn't.
Hey, conserve friends, welcome. So why don't you tell them what's in the other picture since
so that's the tobacco.
You want to change the subject of getting the lawnmower stuck.
That's just what I got today. That was the tobacco and today's elderberries.
And onions,
jalapenos, bell peppers.
And elderberries.
Well, and there's some zucchini over there too.
Is there?
Some little ones, yeah. Yeah, I didn't take a picture of those first ones, the zucchini from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take a picture of that stuff. But there was more. There was purple bell peppers.
Okay.
And zucchini, squash, onions. That's it.
Yeah, and they ended up at another homestead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then these ones, I told Lou if she wanted, when they got done tonight, she can stop over and grab what she wanted.
Yeah. Gregory says it is all fair as long as you keep one cheek on the seat. Yeah. But she clearly didn't keep any cheeks on the.
No, I was trying to.
Yeah, this is our upper pond.
Mm-hmm.
This is
the little one.
Yeah, this is the little one. And this is the cow bathtub. This is where the cows like to go swimming. This is where the geese like to go swimming. So this is actually fenced into the first paddock that then leads to the other paddocks. This is their water source. And I'll tell you guys, it's really, really nice not having to do anything with water during the spring, summer, and fall. Right? You just have to worry about it in the winter. And then we go down there and break ice. Right?
Yeah, we do.
The instigator says basic house cleaning, laundry, light cooking, personal care. They are here for both parents. He must be answering a question. Sorry, I'm in the middle of a conversation.
$25 an hour.
Yeah. There we go. Life done free. That mower was in a dry picture. Was at high tide. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know what is up with him sticking up for you today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't drive your lawnmower next to the pond water. That's should be a lesson we could all learn.
I didn't drive it down there.
Well,
I lunged it down there.
You rolled it down there.
Yes, because
so let me make sure I got this right. You stopped up above the hill and then pushed it into the pond.
I did. Yeah, because I went to I grabbed the back, and when I went to pull it over to the side, it was too heavy, and I pushed it forward. I should have left the brake on and then shimmied it over so that it wouldn't have went forward any.
Skane's girl sticking up for you too. She said that she learned the hard way. Don't mow really close to the edge of a pond.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Yeah. So what happened is she got off of it and said, come fix it.
I did. I said, I made it worse. I need help. I'm going to leave it here.
Yeah.
Until you get back.
Yeah. And then we got it out.
Because I didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
I knew I had already made it worse. So.
Yeah. Masio Parrots in the house. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, let me see here. I'm telling you, those solar cameras will be invaluable for bloopers too. Oh, that's true.
No.
And Jen, I tell you, there's so many times where I'm like, I wish I had my camera with me.
No, that would have been horrible.
Because something happens,
I already have to listen to it.
Yeah. Amen. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's show what that is.
Oh yeah, that's the tobacco seeds. So look at that. Each one of those little pods is like perfectly filled.
Yeah. And so you're just going to save the seeds and next year?
Look how dirty my hands are. Yeah. I was up in the tomatoes and that makes you dirty. I was tying them up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's a lot of tomatoes there.
Yeah. You're going to have tomatoes coming out your ears.
Very soon.
Yeah. There's lots of tomatoes on them, but they're all green. Hey, Deborah Werner, how are you? Welcome. Happy you're here from beautiful state of Wisconsin. Yeah. So tell them though about the tobacco seed, the tobacco plant you didn't plant. It came back from last year. You grew it. She grew it last year for the Buffalo Seed Company and didn't plant tobacco this year. And this one just popped up in the middle of the corn, right?
Yes. And I just left it.
Yeah. And she just left it. And so she's just going to harvest the seeds and keep the seeds. And then that ought to be that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So during, that is what I do during the morning hours because it's still pleasant outside, but by about, I don't know, I stayed in the garden too long the 2 days that I was out there because I came in and like felt nauseous and overdid it. I laid down and I went right to sleep. And then today I got up, went to the garden about 1:30. I came in and did caulking in the closet in pot 4.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's that hot outside, and I think next week we have like it's going to be 99 is the temperature, so the real feel is going to be even warmer.
110, yeah.
And
next week's going to be brutal.
Those are the days get out of the sun and can work inside in the shade, turn the fan on. And well, in there you have the TV, so we can even turn the TV on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I won't be out working in the 110 degree temperature if I can avoid it. I'll do it in the morning and in the night. But Skins Girl says my back tire was spinning and it was trying to roll back in. I jumped off, found a rope, and tied it off to a post. Mine was a septic pond.
Eesh.
No way I was telling my boyfriend. Neighbor pulled me out. Gregory wants to know how far north tobacco will grow. I bet you could grow it all the way up north. I bet you could grow it all the way up into North Dakota.
It is a warm plant, but I think that it's 53 days or something like that. So it's not a very long plant.
Welcome back, Farm Ranch Homestead. Howdy, howdy. What do you want to talk about? I got all kinds of slides. So
the last thing I have is the flies, and I didn't send you a picture, but I have the flies are horrendous, and I don't know. I know a lot of people are putting permethrin or whatever on their
cows.
I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And like cowboy, I can't even get next to. So in order for me to try to like dab something on him, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So it has to be some. I need to try to do something, or put it out in the field and let them like rub up against it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You guys got any of you smart people have any natural fly repellent voodoo recipes that maybe B would be interested in?
Like some spearmint plants or something.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be, but
they'd probably eat it.
Yeah, but it's horrendous, and it's going to stay horrendous because, like I said, we're getting ready to go through a hot spell of 100-degree weather every day for the next week, and so them poor cows get hammered. But here's the good news: they got a pond, and I've watched them many times. That's where they go.
And then we haven't removed the trees off of that dam yet, and so they go like right up underneath there too.
Shade.
So, well, not only shade, but when those leaves are falling down over them, I think it helps them to keep out of the flies. So they are. I got caulking on my arm. So they are, chest high in the water, and then under the trees to help keep them off of them.
Yeah. So last week I did a video on the community building. I don't know how many of you guys watched it, but I thought I'd share some pictures so that for those of you who did not watch it. And so there we are working on the community building. That's just one side of it. And we're sheeting the gables so that we can get to the roof, and then I'll sheet the roof, and then we will paper the roof, and then we'll put the metal up and try to get it weather tight as fast as we can, before the weather changes. Tyrnito says, I get the bags with the attractant in it. I feel attractant in it. Fill with water and hang on the fence. Cuts down on the population at least.
On the flies, I've gotten some of those, and they just not really working that great.
Yeah, Luis says, I use Ignite Mineral Tub and Cal Raw Spray. Working good so far. Vicky Pullen says, kill a squirrel, cut it up in a lot of pieces, and rub it on your cows.
Oh, right. That's what she
says. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I've been battling flies up here, and pink eye garlic mineral helps.
Garlic mineral. I got kelp meal. Somebody told me to get, so I've been feeding that to them. They don't like it, especially Moo. She's like, she'll go try everybody's bowl, and then she'll go back to her bowl because it's in everybody's bowl.
Yeah. Dana Green, how are you? Says, I watched it. Very cool. Heidi Homestead says, hello. Welcome in. Barbara says, great community photos. You're all getting a lot done. JB says, sulfur. You got lots of ash.
Is that what sulfur is? No.
You have lots of ash. Fly trap by Rescue. Got it at Ace. It's a pouch that you add water to and hang it near the area. It smells like fried fish to me. Anyway, it keeps attracting them for a whole month. There we go. Jen says basil and clove. I also 2 cuttings of rosemary and cram them all around the chicken area. You can also get old road sweeper wheel and stick it in the ground for them to scratch on. Yeah, I almost bought one of them at an auction one day, but I didn't get it bought. They got to like $300. I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, that'd be awesome.
Karen said, I never knew tobacco would grow so fast. Temperate and dry here in Minnesota, but what do you do with it? Well, so Karen, we grew it for the Buffalo Seed Company, and we grew it to seed and then harvested the seed and then sold them the seeds. That's all we've ever done with it. But you can use it for wormer on animals. You can, there's several uses for it like that. But she just had a volunteer plant come up, so she'll keep a hold of it anyway.
The one that I grew was ceremonial tobacco.
What was it called?
So you can smoke it. It was white calf buffalo woman.
Yeah, white calf buffalo woman tobacco. Yeah. Let's see here. Side topic. Those with steel chainsaws. Ace Hardware, at least our local ones, have saws, bars, and change. Save $20 each on bars for one of my saws over even Amazon price. Oh, cool. Oh, there you go. Near swing for the win. I like that a lot. Add lots of bird houses to encourage natural predators. That might be an idea, is to put up a bunch of those. I don't know what kind of bird that is. The big white house that's
the marlin.
The marlins.
I do have some gourds too. I can put punch holes in and put up.
Yep, Skanes Girl says encourage toads. We have lots of toads. That's the good news.
The birds, that's what the wild birds, that's what's bringing in all the pests, right? Like, because they fly all over different people's areas, and they're bringing in I thought that's how like the avian flu was getting
Yeah, that's what
around,
they say.
and the
That's what they say.
chicken lice and the
Yep, that's what they say. Yep, that is what they say. But I don't know if that's true or not.
Martin house,
Mhm.
marlin.
Hey, Zach, Unique Prepping's in the house. How are you, bud? Skins Girl says, but do you have toad houses? No, I do not have toad houses.
We have a toad that's living in the turkey house,
Mhm.
and I've just left it there.
Well, yeah, because it eats flies, which would be good. Probably need some more of them, huh? All right, ready for next picture?
Sure. Oh yeah, look at that.
So this is us booming up. I had saved some big hedge posts, and this is actually a challenge for me because none of them are straight, and so trying to get them in there exactly the way I want them has proved to be a little bit of a challenge. And I'll show you guys some additional pictures on it, but I just want to use the hedge posts because they're native to, my land, and they're native to, this area, and they'll never rot. That is the best wood there is in the world for fence posts. And so we're going to work on getting that put up. How would you pronounce that right there?
You're going to cut the tops off of them.
Milo? How would you pronounce that?
Yeah.
Milo, welcome from Gulf, Florida. Amy B, how are you? Yeah, Skins Girl says, I love the trees in the front.
You're just going to cut the tops of them off so that they're level with the roof.
Yeah, I'll get up there and I'll cut it off my chainsaw. So they're inside the roof line. But until I get them positioned right, it's nice because I can wrap the chain around the top of them there and move them, kind of where I need them to go, Birds are one of the tools Greg Judy uses to deal with flies. I won't eliminate all of them, but it can find a balance. And a balance would be good. Oh, look at that. Unique Prepping says, I'm great. How are you? I'm growing my channel 44 subscribers away from 1,500. You've come a long way.
Hey, that's wonderful.
Zach? Yep. Anybody that hasn't subscribed to Unique Prepping, go subscribe and help him get to 1,500.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That'd be wonderful if we can do that tonight for you.
Yep. Hey, Jonathan, what's up, bud? Says, hi, all. I see it's building pictures time. Yes, it is. And I've saved a whole bunch of concrete, Maytag, just for you.
Concrete to be poured?
Yeah. Because, he's the concrete.
When's he coming?
I don't know. But
we need that done.
We need that done. Better hurry up, Jonathan. Bee's waiting on our concrete. Hey, my buddy Mo's in the house. How are you, Mo?
What's up?
Yep, done with 5 out of the last 7 days on call, sitting by the pond with my muscovy ducks. Pretty cool. 6, she says 6 of 7. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, let's keep it trucking here, huh? Yeah, Jonathan says September. Yep, so there's all the poles. But if you guys can see, starting at the pole closest to B and I in the picture, if you go to the 4th pole, this one's proving to be quite the challenge for me because it's got such a twist to it. The rest of them I'm okay with right where they sit. But that one I'm still trying to move around. And it's just been an absolute challenge to get it in there right. Because it is just, I can't even tell you, it's just super, super twisted. Let me see. My little says, enjoy waking Abbas people up. Always new trials that lead to blessings. They 100% agreed. I welcome the new blessings. We talk a lot about, new level, new devil. We talk about how, every time you win something, you have a new, set of challenges. But this community building for us is going to be a complete game changer. And we just got to get it right. But I've got to get that pole because, to me, it just stands out like a sore thumb. But those things are so big and they are so heavy. Just moving them's, not super easy. Thanks, Dana Green. Dana Green says I subscribed. Cool.
Oh, wonderful.
Very good. Are you going to put a header across the post, or are the trusses made to cantilever? Yeah. So I'm going to put not really a header. I wouldn't call it a header up in the trusses to make sure that they're good and locked in, but they're really not supporting anything. It's really not bearing because of how we had the truss built. But I will get up in there and frame that in real good so they don't go anywhere and they can't move out. And then on the bottom, Greg, I still got to put the concrete in there, and so I'm actually going to concrete the bottom of the poles in, and then put the I guess a header. I guess it's a header. I guess at the top, so they shouldn't go anywhere. When I've done, the biggest challenge is going to be sheeting the bottom side of that because I got to go around those poles. Around it. And so that could absolutely is it could be challenging. Hey, Aljo, how are you? Yeah, Aljo says, Zach, 1,500 already is outstanding. That says a lot for your channel. Yep. Pretty cool. You may need to angle that bottom a bit more, leaning more to the right. Yeah, I'm going to push that bottom over a little bit and try to lean it a little more, take it down, not take it down, but just kind of move it around because I'm not happy with it. But the problem is, and this picture does not do it justice, Skeins girl, that tree is, 28 inches in diameter, and it comes straight up and just twists and turns. And I mean, it's a lot, but we're going to get it. That's the only one that I'm not 100% pleased with. Yeah. So if there's this looking down kind of at the other way, see now from this side, the fourth one over doesn't look as bad or doesn't look as bent. Hey, Trough 54, how are you? Welcome in. Oh, look at that. My little says, praise Abba, unique prepper, just subbed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Skins Girl says, I saw the video. It's pretty warped. Yeah, it is just a twisted. It's got big old. It's funny if you look at the bottom. It's got. How do I say that? Like PG-13. It's got big balls at the bottom of it. It looks like a big set of balls right on the side of the tree, which is part of the reason why I liked it. But yeah. Hey, Jane, how are you? Yep. Jane says, congratulations, Zach. I know you've been putting in a lot of effort. Yep. Yep. Super cool. I don't know. Yep. And then there's down the center of it.
Yeah.
So if you look at the fourth one, that fourth one is the one that's my challenge. Yeah, Conserve Friend says the problem post, maybe cut the base at an angle. Yeah, I'm going to go over there to it. I'm going to lag me a couple pieces of angle iron to it and lift it up with my skid steer and then see what it is I can do with it. But
are you going, if you do that, you're going to poke holes in it. Then you'll see those holes later.
No, that's all right. You won't hardly see them. They'll be fine. You can stuff them full of wood putty and sand them off.
Wood cack.
Yeah. She says, but that's a whole lot of character. Yes, and I like the character. Amy B says, I vote with Hippocrates. Chainsaw carving would be really cool, like local tribe totem poles. Yeah, if I could find someone who could do that.
Oh, you only get one chance, though.
Yeah.
You
My Lil says
shot.
that is we call it a hedge tree, my Lil, but it's the actual name for it's an Osage orange. Mm-hmm. But you guys can see the dirt in there. I left it dirt because I'm going to pour concrete, but I want that concrete to wrap those poles in so that the bottom doesn't move, right to left or anything like that. Yeah, Jen says, so exciting. Yep, I'm going to see you guys soon. Hey, Louise says, here comes the shipping container. Now, is that one down or is that number 2?
And they have 3 total?
I'm not sure how many they got over there. Amy B says they're even freedom themed totem poles. Yeah. So who are the wood carvers amongst us? And who wants to come wood carve freedom into the poles? I'm all in. Yeah, there you go. Jen says burls. Yeah, burls. And they're, Jen, you're going to laugh when you see it. They're side by side and they're right at the bottom. And yeah, it just couldn't be any better. Bois d'Arc trees. Yeah, I've heard them called that as well. I've always just known them as Osage oranges or hedge trees here, but Hippocrates says I like big burls and I cannot lie. You guys will laugh when you see it. I'll take a close up. But hey, Tulip Little Angel, how are you? Says just shims, large shims at the bottom. So when you add concrete at the base, it covers the shims. Yeah, and there's many of them. You guys can't see it in this picture, but there's many of them that have shims under them now. As I was trying to move them to exactly where I wanted it.
Look at that. It looks like a person on there.
Oh, yeah, kind of kneeling right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have neighbors that use hedge for fence posts, make unique looking fence lines. Yeah, they make great hedge. They make great fence posts. I have hedge posts on my property that are over 50 years old, long before I owned it, and they're still there just fine. County fairs seem to attract chainsaw artisans. Yeah, but I need a like-minded one. I need a like-minded one.
Find one there then.
See scriptures of protection carved. Yeah, I'd love to see them all carved up. I think that'd be great. Please do not let Mike near them. He is a 12-year-old in his head. That's exactly why he needs to be by them, Jen. Quit mothering him. Let him be, let him be a dude. Look at me like that. Let me see here. Don't let the orange things repel them, critters. Oh man, I learn here. Boy, stark trees. Orange things repel them, critters. Yeah, I've never seen an Osage orange tree, be tore up by critters. So when you pull, I'll pull all that bark off those trees, but if you'll see underneath them, sometimes you'll have some ants or some things like that. But anyway, yep. Zach says, "Oh man, I'll have my channel for 2 years on the 6th. I love this journey, and it's been a journey for you too." I think that's all. Oh no, I guess there's some more. Oh, how about that one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this
everybody up working.
Yeah. This is us booming the trusses up on the building.
And it had just rained that morning.
Yeah. And that young lady there standing on the scaffolding, that is the Kansas Terminator. And, she's the one that owns the Nikki stick, if you guys watch the video. But that's super cool. What else we got? Yeah, there you are.
Oh, there she is.
They're actually using the Nikki stick, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oops. Go back. Remove. There we go. Amy B says, "You're after the rafters." I'm done with the rafters. Thank goodness. That was quite the chore. They're all in. Today we worked on getting the gables sheeted, and they're sheeted on both sides, and the first couple pieces of plywood are up on the roof today. But tomorrow I'll start early, and I'll really work hard on getting all of the plywood up on that roof, because I have to race now. And I don't know how many of you guys have construction background, but once you start framing, once that wood is exposed, you pretty much can't stop. You have to race.
The plywood.
You have to race to get it covered and to get it out of the weather, because it will not take the weather well just open like that. And so we have to do all we can to get the plywood up on it.
On the walls?
On the roof. The walls will last a little bit longer, but even then, once I get the roof in tin, then I will house wrap the walls underneath. So I got house wrap and then tin to protect it, because it just don't do good with it, Bodark trees, some of the hardest lumber there is. Down here, old stumps were used as posts for house foundations. Oh, way cool. I love that. LJC said, "Zach, I thought I subscribed long ago, but I just had to hit that subscribe button." Well, here's the thing. They unsubscribe people all the time. I get unsubscribed from channels that I follow all the time.
Right.
Jen says, "We have a truckload of stuff to bring up. I'm super excited to see you guys."
Yay.
Yeah, can't wait. Cannot wait.
Do you have a
Cannot
date?
wait. Yeah. Ask for the money.
Do you have a date?
Do you have a date? What's the date? What's the date? What's the date? Yeah, Gregory says plywood or OSB. Yeah, thank you for correcting me. It's OSB on the walls and I use 7/16 OSB on the walls and the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then I will paper it, and then I'll put metal on it.
You were going to do purlins on the ceiling, and I talked you out of it.
Yeah, I wanted to do purlins, but B talked me out of it. Well, she didn't really talk me out of it. I just wasn't a fight worth fighting for me, so I didn't even worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, what else you got on your list, Pumpkin?
That's it.
That's it. Well, we're an hour in. You want to talk about what's going on in the crazy, wonderful world we're living in?
The wonderful world of Oz.
Yeah, the wonderful world of Oz is right. And it's funny you say that. We're going to have a little Oz in our live tonight.
Seriously?
Seriously. Seriously.
Great minds think alike.
Yep. So some interesting things coming out. As you guys know, I like to bring up COVID-related items because I think it's the biggest scam ever perpetrated on the American people, or really on any people anywhere.
Right.
And so a couple interesting things. So I don't know if you guys know this or not. Yeah, the Clown World update. Yeah, one step closer. That's exactly right. So AstraZeneca was withdrawn after admitting blood clots. Pfizer has begun settling cancer cases out of court, and the former CNN anchors are now taking ivermectin. Where's your conspiracy theory now? Funding post-authorization vaccine safety science. Right up here, babe. Funding post-authorization vaccine safety science. The godfather of the vaccine safety, Dr. Stanley Plotkin, has confessed now that no vaccines have ever been properly studied before or after their release. A paper just published by the prestigious New England Journal of Medicine admits that no vaccine can be called safe and effective because standard safety checks have never been followed, such as using proper placebo test groups, large enough sample sizes, and long enough test durations and follow-ups. The study was conducted with adamantly pro groups such as the Institute of Vaccine Safety at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, Emory University, University of Pennsylvania, Brighton Collaboration, and the Task Force for Global Health. Dr. Plotkin's answer is allocating more money to these organizations so that they can do proper testing. Crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. Died suddenly. I don't know if you guys follow them at all, but I do. And they are always, every day they have something super interesting related to COVID. But if you guys remember journalist Matt Driscoll, 43, died suddenly, all of a sudden. And he was very, very proud. I don't know if you guys remember him all. He was the guy that got on Aaron Rodgers, the football player. But anyway, he proudly got his vaccine and promoted the shot through reporting in Washington State. Driscoll accused Aaron Rodgers of performance art after the NFL star was canceled for warning people of the dangerous side effects. What a shame. I'm not a party planner, says Jen. I pretty much just get the stuff loaded, then I get the notification. He's running the circus here on the house build. We know that to be true.
So she doesn't know when she's coming.
So Jen, let me make sure I got this right. Are you just saying, did I interpret this right? You just do what you're told. Is that what that means? A systematic review of autopsy findings and deaths after COVID-19 vaccination. A huge breaking study proves COVID vaccines directly killed people who took them. A systematic review of 325 autopsies and one necropsy, is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. Case from around the globe shows that at least 73% of the deaths in those fully vaxxed were directly due to or significantly contributed to by the vaccine itself. The average age of those killed was 70, and the death occurred within 14 days of taking the jab. This hits home to me, because my father got his third jab in the middle of December and died on February 6th. And so I lost my dad to this, exactly what they're talking about. Authorities did not cause the death. Authorities did not question the cause of the deaths at the time due to the age of the victims, who were prone to natural diseases and deterioration of old age. The study was conducted with Yale University School of Public Health and the University of Michigan, and involved famous and world-renowned doctors like Dr. Peter McCullough, who I know most of you know, and William Makis, and the former Trump administration DHS official Paul Alexander. She says, yes, well, sort of. I'm just going to take that as a yes and put that in my pocket for future use, Jen.
She said sort of.
No, she said yes. There's a yes in there. Yes. Yes.
Sort of.
Yes. You see, Wide Awake Media was reporting that German MEP Christine Anderson, the global rollout of the mRNA-based COVID vaccines will go down as the biggest medical scandal ever. It's coming out of Germany. It will be known as the biggest crime to ever have been committed against mankind. Died suddenly also reported that Japanese scientists have proven that COVID shots are causing fatal cases of heart failures to surge throughout the globe. The discovery was made using help me out, baby, endomyocardial biopsy instead of the standard technique, which would easily miss the evidence of the vaccine-associated myocarditis. The researchers are calling on clinicians everywhere to start performing EMBs to catch this early. The study featured a case of a 78-year-old previously healthy female who was admitted to the hospital after her third dose 4 days after the Moderna. The patient experienced palpitations and dyspnea, which gradually worsened. Without the test showing vax damage, she would have died. HHS Secretary Brera just issued this is on bird flu. Let me go back to one more real quick. Candace Owen was quoted this week, which I thought was kind of made me crackle. She said, "Remember when the Ukraine war ended COVID? Laugh out loud. Trust the science." I thought that was funny. Anyway, HHS Secretary Bacerna just issued a PrEP Act declaration for the bird flu. This allows the FDA commissioner to issue EUAs for bird flu vaccines with no liability. The U.S. government has ordered 4.8 million doses of bird flu from the CSL Cinquine Seqirus company, produced in dog kidney cells that used a dangerous squalene-contained, I don't know what half those words are, adjuvant. The AMA issued CPT codes for this vaccine last Friday, so doctors could be reimbursed for administering it. There have been a total of 11 cases of bird flu in the U.S. since 2002, all mild, most involving just conjunctivitis. None were shown to have been transmitted human to human. Why would you need a vaccine unless you expected a much more virulent virus to appear, which had mysteriously gained the ability to spread between humans.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be another lab-derived pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
When was that? Was that today?
Yes, today. It was today. That's when I get all my info. So let's see here. Y'all know I said people are going to start dropping dead after watching how they rolled out the vac and demanded the boosters too. Hey, Kelly May, welcome. Yep, and unfortunately, people are still asleep. I had to roll my eyes Monday because family members are thinking stuff that is not true. There you go, Hippocrates. Dyspnea is difficulty breathing and shortness of breath. Very good. Hey, Terminator, what's going on? How are you? Welcome. Terminator's in the house. Let's see here. Bird brains pushing bird flu vac. Go figure. Yeah, well, there's a whole bunch of stuff that tells me why they're driving all of this stuff, and I'll talk about it a little bit, kind of as we go on. Moving on to a new topic, though. I don't know if you guys have seen the whole Joe Biden letter. I just thought I would publish it so that if any of you didn't, you could see it, where he basically said he wasn't going to run, and then there was a big controversy over the signatures. Mm-hmm. So I took the signature off the letter, which is the bottom one, the bottom blue box. And then I took another one off of his normal signatures. And so that's the two signatures. So you can judge for yourself.
What do you think?
Well, it's obviously not the same signature. One's underlined, one isn't. Right? In the first Joe, the usual one, there's a clear defined O, which there wouldn't be one there. Right? Look at the B, how it crosses over the bottom. Right? There's definite one step closer for the win says it's the election variant. Yeah, one would think that the letter to the American people from the president announcing his decision to step aside would not be signed using a digital signature and would be accompanied by a photo op and a scheduled conference in the morning that followed. Instead, we have a digitally signed letter released on the president's X account or Twitter, an account we know that is run by a staffer. No photo, no live scheduled address to the American people. If I were China, I would invade Taiwan tomorrow. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, my little says he's a clone. And you know what's so funny about that is you and my wife would get along perfectly. Mm-hmm. Because she is always bringing me two pictures of Biden. They're not the same one, or, whatever it is. Yeah, AI Joe.
Yeah.
Tag, my town where I live is trying to pass a bylaw of no.
Of no.
Meaning no, they're not going to play, or what? Absolutely crazy. Did you notice that Biden dropout letter isn't on official letterhead? I'm told by sources that Joe Biden didn't even write this letter. Sources tell me that Steve Ricchetti, the counselor to Joe Biden, actually wrote the letter, and that Biden senior advisor and campaign chair Mike Donnellan was present as a witness while Ricchetti wrote the letter, because Biden was too cognitively damaged to write a letter or comprehend what's going on. This means the signature is likely forged on the letter as well. Notice there's not an official campaign or presidential letterhead. This means this is not legitimate. Yeah, Gregory says, my mom could not sign her name very well after her stroke. And maybe he had a stroke. Yeah. Bubba told me they said Biden that they have now is 8 inches taller. I've seen some of those pictures. They're just super deceiving. And it's hard to tell, Kelly May, but I looked at that as well. See, another quote that I found interesting was, we just witnessed the quickest and quietest coup d'etat in history, which I actually happen to agree with. Something else that was interesting about, how Biden then came out and did his speech, right? And obviously I did not go and find this picture and verify that this is true, but if you look at the picture of his watch and they zoomed in on it, then the time he was speaking were two different times, which would tell you it was pre-recorded. Right? Which I found interesting. But the thing, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Think about it. Think about it one step closer. Distraction everywhere. Keep on building that community and not the fake community. Amen.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
Well said.
Yeah, perfectly said. What's next here? Think about this. This is in reference to the everything that's been going on. Right. Think about this. Trump almost gets assassinated. Days later, Biden has a medical emergency in Vegas requiring self-isolation at home. His last public appearance reported to be July 17th when deboarding a plane in Delaware. In the time since, Trump shows up at the RNC, accepts the GOP nomination. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Hakeem Jeffries ramp up pressure campaign to push Biden out. Leaks abound. Washington Post reports Obama not happy with Biden's election chances. Pelosi starts Operation Let's Get Joe Out. Hunter and Jill reportedly have a screaming fest. A resignation letter with a suspected digital signature and no official letterhead is issued on X. White House staff is blindsided. Chief of Staff informs cabinet, takes over communications. Endorsements begin, first with Hillary, Bill, and Newsom. Finally, Obama speaks out. Joe Biden is one of America's most consequential presidents. Kamala shows up to take over. Family members Frank and Valerie Biden say that health was a factor. And then the State Department comes in and says health had nothing to do with it. FEC filings changed, donations transferred over to her campaign. Kamala somehow raises $81 million in 24 hours, which she didn't. That was money that was pulled from Biden's campaign and then given back, but she didn't raise it. Kamala reportedly gets the delegates to become the presumptive Democratic president nominee. Joe Biden hasn't been seen in public the whole time. Now he's been filmed once. How is this not a coup?
And where was he filmed?
Well, it was filmed at the White House speaking to the American people, but it was obviously pre-recorded.
Oh.
Right? What I think is so interesting in this, how does someone get the nomination for president without ever receiving a vote? Right? There was no...
They passed it down.
They just gave it to her.
Yeah.
Which means who gave it to her?
The president, right?
Well,
because he was going to, and then he passed it down to her.
No, he stepped down and endorsed her. The Democratic Party is what gave her the nomination, but how can they give him the nomination without a single vote?
Did she give the $81 million back?
No, she's going to use it to campaign against Trump.
I thought you said that she raised $81 million, but then gave it back.
No. What I was saying is they say she raised $81 million, but what really happened was that's $81 million that was donated to the Biden campaign. And then when Biden decided to step down, they pulled that money back. And then once she got the nomination, they gave it back to her. So she wasn't actually out there raising money. Wow. Terminator says, sorry, not allowed to release your firearms on your property. And they are trying to pass where the bylaw officer can walk on your property without permission at any time. Fight that with everything you got in you. Yeah, pre-recorded AI. Yep, COVID was the biggest eye-opener in my life. Seeing hospitals' response and speaking with the medical professionals changed my worldview. Yeah, and that's sad. I know a lot of healthcare workers who are excellent and absolute warriors who I think they've lost faith in the system over it as well. Many questioned after the letter dropped whether they would tell Biden. Yeah, that it's such a scam. There's no way all that happened.
I heard that.
Did you notice the bruise on Biden's lower jaw in his goodbye speech? I did not see the bruise. Hey, the beautiful MJ from Wisconsin's in the house. How are you? Boy, my previous post sure got jumbled. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, Nito says the whole thing's a farce, totally against the Constitution. Yep, the votes of their delegates don't count anymore than the previous election. They just make shit up as they go. They do. Mm-hmm. They do. Chris White, $81 million, 81 million voters for Biden, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
I don't think I'm ever going to hear the end of that. But here's the good news. Kamala Harris' presidential campaign raises nearly $50 million since the Biden endorsement, which we now know is not true. Kamala Harris earns Nancy Pelosi's support. Mm-hmm. She also gets the Clinton support. She also gets the endorsement from the Nikki Haley PAC. And then just yesterday, Barack and Michelle Obama also endorsed Kamala Harris. Game, set, match. This is your Democratic nominee. And this is who will face Trump in the general election.
Yeah. Is Barack Obama 100% gray now, huh?
Yeah. Michael looks good. Let's not forget the secret that Yellen just announced the U.S. to pay $667 million to the Planned Demonic Fund. Yeah, there's a bunch of that going on too behind the scenes, but it's so crazy. Just like and I was going to talk about this a little bit later, but like the CrowdStrike thing that happened that shut all the computers down. It's ironic to me that it happened as soon as everything was breaking about Trump being the attempted assassination, right? To take the attention off. And all of this craziness with Biden dropping out does exactly what my little says, is that it takes the attention off what goes on. So they've got all this other attention. They send $667 million to the Planned Demonic Fund.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I heard that Donald J. Trump is suing Kamala Harris campaign. He is, because they fraudulently spread huge donations across numerous small donation accounts. I think he's going to do what they did to him and try to keep them tied up in court while it's going on, because exactly what they did to him, you know. The Democrats that voted for Joe would be upset. Kind of bait and switch. It's total bait and switch. Thanks, Zach Blue. It is 100% bait and switch. And it's a crock.
That's too bad.
But here's the good news, guys. And I do have good news for you guys tonight. I know you guys look forward to my good news, right?
We're still waiting for it.
Netflix co-founder Reed Hastings donated $7 million to Kamala Harris. Netflix makes a donation to her campaign and the stock tumbles $2 billion in 2 hours, a 40% drop in their stock price.
Wow.
And I confirmed that on many different sites. So Netflix took a beating.
40%.
40% of their value. Yeah, there should be some rich freedom-loving person should come in there and buy that whole entire company up.
That means that people are voting with their dollar.
Yep. Obama call to knee pads sure sounded recorded. Oh yeah, definitely. I remember who knee pads was, but that's funny. Sure sounded recorded. Yeah, it's all set up, you guys. It's all who bribed who for what money. If you remember, she didn't automatically get Pelosi's endorsement until they paid enough, right? Until they made enough backdoor deals, right? And same with Obama.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, Kelly Mace says, I wonder who her running mate's going to be. God, I'm almost scared. Yeah. My little says Jesus.
Yeshua.
Yeah, Yeshua wins. James O'Keefe was interviewing some of the small donors. They said they didn't donate.
They said they didn't?
They didn't donate. Yeah, they interviewed a lady. I just seen it. I couldn't clip it and get it over in time, but while I was waiting for the live, they walked up to a lady and said, hey, according to the records, you donated, 276 times to the Biden campaign. She's like, what? No, I didn't. So there's a lot of shenanigans going on. I wonder how many people canceled their Netflix. Hope all of them.
Not enough.
Amy B says she would support Oprah for vice president.
Oh, no. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Or Whoopi?
Yeah. Whoopi. As slow as anything consequential happens in Washington, does the speed of this look odd? 100%. They don't do anything fast. Hakestraw said her running mate is Mickey Mouse. I actually might vote for Mickey Mouse. This whole thing is just so absolutely crazy to me. But again, in winning, Black Lives Matter denounces Democrats for anointing Kamala Harris. I don't know if you guys read this report or not, because they just anointed her. And so the Black Lives Matter crowd was like, this is ridiculous. And as soon as they did that, it was, but dude, this is such theater. So as soon as they do that, they come out with a video showing Kamala Harris coming out of a bookstore buying Black American history books, like, their cultural books. This, despite the attempt to manufacture a culturally Black background for Kamala, is hilarious or laughable. Many foundational Black American families already have these types of records for years, so having to purchase them now is saying a lot. Yeah, they spend and print money fast. That's about it. Yeah.
Was it? I heard she was a side chick.
That she's a side chick?
That she was a side chick.
She was. She actually got her start into politics. She was having an affair with a married man, a mayor. And that's how she got her start into politics. That's why they always make all of the jokes about Joe and the hose got to go. Right? You've seen all those bumper stickers. That all stems back from that original thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think she needs to watch her back. Hillary probably is furious that Kamala could be the first female president. Yeah, she endorsed her. I'm hearing that Harris's vice president will be the Pennsylvania governor because of his religion.
So a man?
Yeah. Well, it'll have to be a man.
Why? Because
I think that the Democratic machine will want to cater to more voters. If they put a full female docket out there, I think they'd be afraid they would alienate a bunch of men. The anti-Obama and Harris. The anti-Obama and Harris. Yeah, she probably needs to study up on what a Black American is. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. One step closer. Willie Brown side piece. Yep. Keanu Reeves, Sylvester Stallone, and one other refuses to present Whoopi with her Lifetime Achievement Award at whatever movie award shows going on recently. Oh, I didn't see that. M, how are you? Heels up, Harris. Yeah.
Oh, Sheesh. Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah, Hakesross said, did you hear where she said 18 to 21-year-olds were stupid? Yeah, they're denying it, but I watched the video myself, and it's amazing. Same with them saying that she wasn't the border czar, right? There's a lot of that stuff that's going on right now. But, yeah, Heels Up's got an uphill battle, that's for sure.
Oh, that's her nickname.
Yeah, her nickname is Heels Up Harris.
Oh, I thought that he just made that up. Wow.
Yep. Yeah. Or Crackles the hyena.
That means that's other people are calling her that. Ouch.
Yeah. Doctor said that would be odd since I believe he's Jewish after she boycotted Israeli prime minister's speech. Yeah, well, I thought it was interesting when she came out of the meeting with Netanyahu to say, hey, I support Israel, blah, 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 but I don't support the brutality of it. And, you know, there's a deal on the table, like she's already trying to make a deal. And then he instantly gets out of that meeting and then flies to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Trump. Yeah, One Step Closer says the Pennsylvania governor won't be the vice president pick since he is Jewish, has a Jewish last name, and too many Dems are Hamas supporters. Yeah, let me see here. Another DEI appointment. Yeah, if anybody don't know what DEI stands for, it stands for didn't earn it. No, it stands for diversion, equity, and inclusion, but didn't earn it works good for me too. Yeah, don't forget to like, thumbs up my community. Amen. He is Jewish. Don't blame me. She earned that title. Em, I'm not blaming you. I think it's hilarious.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, oh yeah. She is Willie so. Yeah, and it's so funny, you know, that the first man. I was gonna make a joke.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke about. Never mind. I won't. Never mind. Never mind. I'll get myself in trouble. Yeah, another content creator is calling her Special K. Yeah, they're doing double time lying and trying to clean up their image. Yeah, but how is she ever going to do that? There's so much videotape out there, you know? Yeah. Harris didn't win a single delegate in the Democratic primary in 2020. No, she did not. And yet she's here. So I think the question you have to ask yourself is why? Why did they pick her when she's so unpopular? Now, I know I have my theory, but I'd love to hear your guys' theory about it. Hey, Katie, Texas, how are you? Kami Kamala of Cali should pick Kami Kelly of Kansas as her VP. Say that sentence fast. Kami Kamala of Cali should pick Kami Kelly of Kansas. That's a tongue twister right there. There was a news article out at the time that basically said she was a hooker. There's so many jokes I could make. A lot of Kamala's content has been scrubbed, but people keep reposting it. Yeah, I mean, I have all kinds of her posts and things that she said. They're never going to get rid of it. I mean, they're trying to clean it up.
Stuff that she's saying.
That she said in the past. You know, that she talked about, like they're talking about the kids were stupid. She said she was talking about 18 to 21-year-olds on camera, and she was talking about them. She said, you know what else they are? They're all stupid. They all make dumb decisions at that age, you know, and she had this big old rant about it. But my Lil says she's the mask of Obama, and that's why they picked her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kamala's campaign new slogan: "We guarantee a happy ending."
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Yep. Yep. She got all the way to the top, and was interesting as the last man, you know, that she was around. She got out because he pulled out. Biden, right? Might be the only one. You don't think that's funny? Yeah. They picked her just to spit in our face and show that they are calling the shots, so we can do very little about it. Yeah. She checks several boxes: Black, Asian, female, pro-green, New Deal, pro-Hamas, and socialist. She was the arm of a lot of guys out there. Yes, she was. Lots of videotapes out there. Montel Williams. She was Montel Williams' side chick for a while. Yeah, Montel Williams. Yep. Yep. Absolutely crazy. Just absolutely crazy. Yep. Montel Williams. That's right. Okay, so before I get myself into trouble with new jokes, I don't know if you guys seen this or not, but in anticipation of Netanyahu's speech, there was a bunch of Palestinian supporters who were protesting on the Capitol building, and you can see buses of them busting, pictures of them busting them in. They're putting up barricades. Several pictures are floating out there and videos of these protesters assaulting police officers. They took down the American flag and put a Palestinian flag up. They were burning the flag. They used spray paint and graffiti. And I know you guys were very, very concerned about this. So I just wanted to let you know that the charges against the 4 people who assaulted the police during yesterday's riot have officially been dropped.
Where was this at?
Washington, D.C., the Capitol building. You remember in January 6th?
Yeah.
Right? They put people in jail for years.
Yeah.
They've now released charges. So
these guys didn't go into the Capitol building.
I do not believe they went into the Capitol building. At least I did not see that. Yep. Tag Biden pulled out faster than a hot pancake hitting the floor. Yep. Absolutely crazy. We need to take a lesson though from, let me see here. Warm up for the day after the election. Yeah, no doubt. I think we should take some lessons from people up there in Ireland. So I don't know if you know this or not, but Ireland has a different way of protesting. The locals have put an end to the construction of the migrant center. The workers have fled and the equipment has been set on fire. So they were building a migrant center over there and the people said, nope.
And they burned it down.
Yep. And then there was a big old picture or spray paint on the wall that says, any work done on any workman working on the Welcome Center will be shot. And then people began to take to the streets in protest.
Jeez.
Yeah. Let me see here. My little says they put maggots in Netanyahu's hotel. I seen that. So the hotel that he was staying in, someone took buckets of maggots and spread them all over the tables and all kinds of stuff. Dana says, what is a Palestinian flag? It's not a country. Well, I have a don't tread on me flag and it ain't a country. Should be. Are they going to release the J6ers to make space for the DC gulag? No, there's no DC gulag. They dropped all the charges. Yep. Jen said to face the Liberty Bell. Yeah. Need their hides tanned. Yes, they do. Absolutely crazy. Just our world is just crazy. I thought this was an interesting article, and I just copy and pasted it because I thought it kind of summed everything up really nice. Comes from the Health Ranger. Again, I don't know if you guys follow him or not, but I do. Said, after many days of analyzing audio, video, and photographic evidence of the attempted assassination of President Trump, I cannot currently find any evidence whatsoever to support the notion that Crooks fired any shots at all. There is overwhelming evidence, however, to support the idea that he was a patsy, that the rifle was found 7+ feet away from his body. How did it get there if he was shot dead? You following so far, babe?
Yeah.
Because you remember the pictures
of the
his rifle was way over there.
I didn't see.
You didn't see him, okay.
Of the.
So yeah,
I'm following what.
Yeah, dead men don't move rifles around. It is clear the rifle was not in his hands when he was shot. No brass locations were apparently marked on the roof by the FBI or anyone else, and there are no brass casings present in the police body cam footage taken from the roof shortly after the shooting. Thus, we have zero evidence of any spent brass on the roof at all. The Secret Service and the law enforcement is absolutely atrocious, as if they didn't even consider it a real crime scene at all. The sniper named Greg in the second floor office of the adjacent building had a clear open view of Crooks on the roof, yet he did nothing to stop him, even after photographing him. The TMZ video showing Crooks at the very moment the first 3 rounds are fired shows no recoil, no muzzle flash, and no brass ejecting from the right side of the rifle. How did Crooks fire a rifle with no recoil? The one-time optic or icon sight of the rifle would have made it extremely difficult for Crooks to make a headshot with any sort of accuracy without magnification. This is accurate. I shoot ARs all the time. Furthermore, how did Crooks manufacture explosive device that we are told was found in his car? Where would he have acquired such technical expertise to work with the explosive without blowing himself up? Why was he allowed to fly a drone over the speaker's location several hours before the event? Why was he allowed to use a rangefinder to range the podium location without being detained and questioned about his intentions? Why was he filmed walking around the grounds with no concern at all, almost as if they believed he was there with permission? Training mission narrative. How did he know this particular roof would not be covered by Secret Service? Who told him the roof was available to him? What seems to be emerging in my view is that Crooks believed he was on a training mission, working with law enforcement to determine the vulnerabilities, and that he was playing along as they told him things like, here, take this rifle, climb onto the roof, and tell us what you see. He did as he was told, put himself in position, and then potentially someone else took all 8 shots, after which Crooks was killed to wrap up the cover story, although not yet provable. And perhaps never, I wish my thing wasn't there.
Who told him the route? I don't know. Route.
Yeah, the problem is my
what
light bulb's over it. That's okay. He was playing along, and they told him things like, here, take the rifle and climb on it.
Oh.
That's a double. That's why I did that. Okay. This is emerging as more likely explanation that fits available data we have so far. It's subject to change, of course. If new data points emerge, I reserve the right to update this or alter this analysis based on the data. Keep your thinking caps on. Keep crowdsourcing the investigation. The FBI is now engaged in an active cover-up.
FBI?
The FBI. So crazy. Protesters need a one-way ticket to a communist country. Did you hear they're going to make milk using maggots? Hey, Monica. Monica Sherman, how are you? Hi, friend. She's not African black, American black, Jamaican, India, communist family background. And I also was told that her grandpa owned several hundred slaves. I have not verified that, but I did read that.
Several hundred?
Several hundred.
Woo.
Yeah. It's all about campaign money being tied to Biden and Harrods. Yep, he's the patsy, as Vicky Pullen says. I totally agree. No, Secret Service was at the beginning of the day briefing. Yeah, I believe that. Subject to change. That's a flag. Yeah, we were listening to the video of the gunshots. Bubba said it was 3 different guns, including the Secret Service shot. Well, there's actually evidence that there was 3 different guns that were fired. Now, whether it was him and then 2 snipers or whatever, we don't know. But there's forensic evidence that says that. Kelly May says yes. Her it was her father. Maybe that's what she's going to say. I heard it was her grandfather. But absolutely crazy. A couple interesting points. I don't know if you guys know or not. This is the first election since 1976 to not have a Biden, Clinton, or Bush on the ballot. That's interesting. The Yorkshire Lass was reporting that breaking news that U.S. District Attorney and U.S. Sheriffs are working together to criminally charge Anthony Fauci, Ralph Barrick, and Peter Daszak, and many others for racketeering collusion in creating the Wuhan virus. I hope this is true, although I don't believe it is, but I hope that it's true. Former President Trump called for swift revenge in a hypothetical Iranian attack on him. Now, this is really important to me. Years after the inflamed tensions in the region in an assassination that the UN official called extrajudicial. Responding to Benjamin Netanyahu's claim that Iran brazenly threatened to assassinate him, Trump wished that America obliterates Iran if he were assassinated. I think it's fascinating that Netanyahu came over to our country to make a case that Iran's the enemy, and Trump clearly backs him that Iran's the enemy. Are they just setting us up to go to war? You guys know I'm not a big Trump fan. I'm not a big Biden fan. I'm certainly not a Harris fan, but this sure seemed a little fishy to me, like maybe it was just a, kind of a setup. Where are we at here? Does presidential rules for office allow Obama to come back as a vice president? I think so. I don't think he would, but I think he could. Kelly May, yes, her father's family owned the biggest plantation in Jamaica and was the biggest slave traders.
Wow.
Yeah. I seen a video of Harris where she was talking to another black lady and was saying they don't understand people like you and me, like trying to say that she was one of them. Yep, Donald Harris is a renowned Jamaican Marxist. Her mother, Indian Brahmin family, anchor baby, ? Cell phones ping show him at a restaurant next door to FBI Washington, D.C. multiple times. I read that as well. Yep. Chemist announced new modifying self-amplifying RNA, aka saRNA, in the next new juice. Don't take it. Hey, Lazy Loper's in the house. How are you? Happy Friday to you. Yes, the line of great-grandfathers owned slaves, which is so crazy. Watched part of the FBI director testifying before Congress, slick talker. Yeah, I thought it was amazing how he implied that Trump's wound could have come from shrapnel and not from a bullet, and that they didn't have evidence when that evidence seems pretty clear to me. Who knows, right? Who knows? Moving on. So this is the interesting stuff. You want to talk about Oz, right? We're going to talk about Oz, right?
Okay.
Okay. So I and Carol said, I'm just going to throw this out there. If something horrible happens at the Olympics this year, tonight was the opening ceremonies of the Olympics.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yep. The first question should be, who actually orchestrated the false flag terror attack, and why do they want to start World War III? Followed by another article from today, the 26th, as you guys can see, trains filled with Olympic athletes stopped after coordinated arson attacks. I think it's pretty interesting that the opening ceremonies, we're going to talk about Oz, right? Look at this, babe.
These are the opening ceremonies.
These are all pictures from the opening ceremonies. And if you look at that. Now, look at that lady with the beard.
They're all cross-dressers.
They're all cross-dressers. It's all evil. But there's something also very important in these pictures.
Giants.
Yep. See anything super fascinating about all of these? Like this one has symbol. This one's the red lady with the head cut off that's in the hands that she's singing is, I think, super important. Lady with the beard is super important. The Grim Reaper, but it's that center pick that I think is the big one. You want to see why I think that?
Why?
Because it matches that.
Oh, shit.
They're making fun of Christianity.
Okay.
You agree?
That's the Last Supper.
Yep.
Marie Antoinette.
Look at it. The people are even posing in the same type of positions, right? Yep. And the red lady with the head, I found this was interesting. But Marie Antoinette was executed by guillotine on October 16th of 1793 after being found guilty of high treason.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So are they sending a message? Tell me this is not insane. There's no way that could match the Last Supper that well. I don't think. I'll go back to the other pictures. Now look at it again. Crazy. Yeah, Kelly May says, that's disturbing. Y'all, it's Paris. I know, but it's supposed to represent the world. And again, I don't think that anything's a coincidence.
So they're saying, oh, well, it's just foreigners.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, Yeah, my Lil says Olympic planned demonic scapegoat. I think this is absolutely demonic.
Absolutely. What's up with the dude singing on the table with the?
Yeah, and he's on a plate.
Flowers.
He's on a plate of food. Is he being sacrificed? I don't know.
Like a pig?
Yeah, I don't know. Yep. Yep. Unique preps of the top middle picture is disgraceful and disgusting. Yep. Amy B for the win. Let them eat cake. Yep. There was also a rider on a pale horse. I seen that. I'd already had this loaded, which I didn't add it, but there was a rider on a horse, that pale horse riding through. So sad. Those types of displays just break my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I cannot believe how close. I'll change the slide again. That is to the Last Supper. Evil at its finest. Oh my God, says Lazy Loper. Yep. He could be appointed by Harris if Biden gets 25th. She moves to president and assigns Obama as a VP for 5 months. But he can't be voted in. Well, she wasn't voted in, right? I think the Marie Antoinette is also a very interesting symbol. Is that really just a revolution? Is that really just a symbol of do what you're told?
I don't know. I think that they probably just thought it was cool.
Yeah, Dana Rydell, it's because we're living in the last days. This was the opening ceremony, but it really kind of felt like
This was today. Huh?
This was today. Really kind of felt more like the closing ceremony of humanity.
Ouch.
Well, really, right? This is, and you guys know I struggle with my faith, and B's good with hers, but still, this is like, I wouldn't push it like this. Like, this is asking for trouble, and I think. How could any Christian watch this and say, oh, the bread and circus of the Olympics is a good idea? Yeah, Monica, what a great way to say that. Said Jesus take the wheel, because right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, wheat and tares becoming more obvious. Let me see here. Bacchus, a nature god of fruitfulness and vegetation, especially known as the god of wine and ecstasy. And he's referring, babe, I'll go back. He's referring to that guy right there. Yeah, so crazy. Yeah, Gregory says, mock God at your peril. They're not even trying anymore. Disgusting. Yeah, I heard it was mocking the creator, Weapons Junkie. How are you, Weapons Junkie? Well, I don't know if you guys, but that sure seems like an awful, close thing to the Last Supper. And, the peasants didn't have money to buy bread, and because cake was cheaper than bread, hence the quote that launched her head from her shoulders. Interesting. So crazy. Anyway, you wanted Oz. They give you Oz?
No, that's not really what I meant.
What do you mean?
No, I mean that's pretty. It is a movie. We're all watching a movie.
Judgment is famine, even if it's man-induced. Well, I got some information on that too. Yeah, Cuddly Bear says, be not deceived. God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, he shall also reap. So crazy. Thank the Lord, tag, you see it, regardless of your struggle. Love you, my friend. Yeah, and I've been very honest about my struggles with it, but I absolutely see it, and that's ground I would never touch. Yeah, they're absolutely flaunting it, Skins Girl. Yep, terrible presentation of the Last Supper. I agree. As a Christian, I have no desire to engage at the same time. Yeah, I won't watch any of it. Absolutely insane. Here's some more good news.
Not because you're a Christian, though.
Well, I don't understand. I struggle with my faith, but the reason I'm not going to watch it is I'm not going to participate in the bread and circus. Keep me occupied. I've got fences to build. I've got community buildings to build. I've got people to build relationships with, right? I've got a wife. I've got a family. I've got those things. I'm going to spend my time there, not,
watching the show.
Right. So here's some other interesting news. I'm glad that 76% of income tax now goes directly to the important things like interest on past government incompetence. For the first time ever, the interest payments on the U.S. national debt will shatter $1 trillion this year, eating 76% of all taxes collected. So think about this, guys. 24% of all the taxes that are collected in our country are going to running the country.
24%?
Yep. 76% are going to pay the debt. This is why it don't matter who gets elected. This isn't going to get fixed, right? Put that in, try to think about that from a credit card perspective. Imagine if 76% of your income was going to pay the interest on your credit cards.
Right.
So let's say you made $10,000 a month. $7,600 would be your minimum payments on your credit card. You're not paying off any of the principal. You've yet to pay your mortgage. You've yet to pay your food. You've yet to pay your health insurance. You've yet to pay anything else, but yet $7,600 is going on your minimum payments to your credit cards. That's the situation we're in. Elon Musk says America will go broke and the U.S. dollar will collapse. Elon Musk is at it again. This time he took to Twitter and he declared America is going bankrupt. Crazy. Yeah, be the ant. I'm trying to be the ant. Gypsy said he sent me a picture of one done.
Oh.
Wonder how he sent it to me.
Your phone?
Yeah, I'll look. Maybe there. Nope.
That's not your phone.
Nope. Well, I got to figure out which one it's on, right? Anyway.
Yeah.
Let it beep up there. All right, where are we at here? Kelly May says, I'm
You
wondering.
get phone messages on your computer?
Of course I do.
What?
Yep, nice.
Text messages?
Text messages, all my photos.
Wow.
Yeah, welcome to the modern day, pumpkin. I'm wondering what the citizens of France think about this mess. Kelly, it was actually interesting. I seen a couple tweets on Twitter from French citizens saying that they apologized to the world. Now, that might be the minority. Who knows, you know? Nurse Wang says, Tag, thank you for your openness and vulnerability. It's good to hear people be honest and real. Well, I mean, like the one thing I'm definitely not going to lie about is my spirituality. And I don't want to be a Christian hypocrite. I grew up with those. And that's horrible. You know? So I'm not doing that. Thank God, Tag, for your wife and family, the new family that you are helping. Thank you, friend. Amen. Let me see here. Pocket said, I think Jack Spirko had a podcast talking about a kid learning about compounding interest. Of course, it goes the other way. Compounding debt, same curve, different direction. Perfectly said. Yeah. Kelly May says, we are financially screwed. We are financially screwed. Any banker would not ever let a private citizen that deep. No, that 24% isn't being used to pay bills. They're spending a whole lot more than that and borrowing the difference, resulting in higher interest payments going forward. It's not just borrowing, it's also printing, which is they're making the other one worse, right? Because they're driving the value of the dollar down. But 24% is what they have left over, which don't even cover what we send to the Ukraine. Now, America's bankrupt in more ways than one. It is bankrupt. It has no morals. It has no values. Our education system is broken. Our judicial system is broken. Our legislative system is broken. The executive branch is broken. The monetary system is broken. The food system is broken. The healthcare system is broken. You guys, you're not going to vote your way out of this. Sorry, but you're not.
Do you think any of them are sound?
No.
Nothing. It's all shit.
Did any of those I named you?
No.
Did you say, hey,
I was wondering if there was anything else, though, that you were like, hold back.
I could rant. That's what they want. Bankrupt American destroyer, of course, because you can't bring up the bottom if you don't take down the top. Right? Yeah. High-tech Tag is a high-tech redneck. Yeah, thanks, man. And 40% of the people don't know if they can pay their bills. And yet taxes are rising everywhere.
Right.
Right. Hey, Tim Riley, how are you? Welcome in. Yep. Everything the left touches is broken. Everything the right touches is broken. At the end of the day, they let it happen too, right? And they vote for their best friends and they vote for their pet projects and they vote for their things too. It might be a milder version, but at least the left tells you that they're crooked, right? Instead of trying to hide behind the rhinos and that, there's very few politicians on either side of the fence I like at all. Let me see here. I might be able to, oh, look at that. If I can get it up here. Hey, I'm gonna share a picture with you guys real quick because he sent it to me. Share screen. This is what Gypsy's been working on. So they finally got one of their shipping containers moved. And what was really cool about this, I don't mean to change the subject, but what was really what's really cool about this is they moved it loaded full.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They put it on
it's on railroad ties, but they transported it full. They didn't unload it. So crazy. Gregory says, so what is fixable in this country? That's a great question, Gregory. And I will tell you what's fixable is your personal relationships. Mm-hmm. That's what's fixable. Be a great dad. Be a great husband. Right? Be a great friend. Put people in front. Put their needs in front. Look out for community. Build something local. Because I'm going to tell you guys, at the end of the day, community is all you're going to have. That's it. Because none of these systems that we've put all of this money into are coming to help you. None of them. So what's fixable? Your personal relationships. We are the best we are going to be for a long time. Prepare. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Totally agree. Yeah, lobbyists absolutely have a job for a reason. Conservative Friend says it's documented the middle class is shrinking. Of course, as they want it shrunk. I'm going to share a little clip out of Klaus Schwab's book tonight that talks about this exact point. You know, Farmer Rich Gregory, if you get good ingredients, you can fix a sandwich. I don't think there's any hope of anything else. Hippocrates says community is fixable, but a true community isn't the size of a city. It's much smaller. Well, it's not necessarily geographic, I would argue, Hippocrates. And I'd love to have this conversation with you. Community is a bunch of people just like all of us here tonight. The 70 of us that are sitting here right now talking about what do we do and how do we do it. That's a community too. And we can work on our relationships with each other, all of us. And I can work on being a great husband, and I can work on being a great father, and I can work on being a good business partner, and I can work on being a good friend. And I think that's what we have to do, and that's what we have to focus on. And getting free from as many systems as possible. Perfectly said, Nitos. Yep. Every single thing you have to write a check for is a way you're asking permission from the system. And it also gives them a stroke over you to say, if you, then this. Every single one. So, Nitos, I could not agree more. Break those strokes, break those chains on as many of them as you can. And that'll be better. Monica says the middle class is determined to be extinct. They don't want the middle class. The middle class is where all the power's at. Yeah. Mario says we're 100% part of your community from 5 hours away in Arkansas. 100%. 100%. And you know what? And it's funny, Mario talked about that. Mario and I have grown to be better and better friends all the time over time. And they live quite a ways away. And, we don't get to see them all that much. But we wish we would see them more. And we harass them every time we see them about moving here. And but at the end of the day, work on our relationships. And I think that's what we can do. And ultimately, that'll turn into working on our economies. Right. And then building those parallel and counter, systems. Hickshaw said, I love starving the beast. Amen. And we should be doing all of it we can do. Right. So in the news, I don't know if you guys were following all of this, but the World Economic Forum plotting a catastrophic grid outage that will permanently reset America before the election. The World Economic Forum in Davos is planning what they describe as a catastrophic grid outage with a stated goal of creating a permanent reset in the U.S. before the November election. According to the insiders, the CrowdStrike outage was the final preparation for the devastating cyber attack on the U.S. power grid that will disconnect the public from the internet, wipe out savings, and plunge the nation into chaos for years, allowing the elite to roll out the next phase of their totalitarian master plan. And they'll do it to a thundering applause, because here there's the solution to the problems. Those evil banks, let's do cryptocurrency, let's do a central bank digital currency. As a global elite world order, governments to prepare to rig the November election and ration people's food, water, and supplies as part of the Great Reset agenda, it has never been more important to spread the word about their evil plans. And so, as you guys know, we were talking last week about CrowdStrike, and we showed you guys who own them. And I put it up here again in case any of you guys have forgotten. They're owned by BlackRock. The largest shareholders are BlackRock, Vanguard, Morgan Stanley, Jennison, and State Street Corporation, which you'll find is a trend going through, kind of the rest of it tonight. Monica said, I've been trying to get my family on board to move New Mexico here. Yeah, I think you've got to yoke up. As American Roots says, and I steal their quote all the time, yoking up is the single thing we can be doing that's going to have the biggest impact. I've been blessed to have fairly recently acquired friends who are good friends, and because of them, I'm becoming a better friend. Amen. And challenge yourself to be a better friend, right? Be the friend that all of them would want. So I don't know if you guys know, we threw back up here, so I just quote it correctly. So that CrowdStrike, which had the problem, right? I just thought I would share with you guys tonight who's in charge of that company. So it's a guy named George Kurtz, who's a billionaire, by the way. He's the CEO of the cybersecurity company CrowdStrike. So his company is the one that crashed all of these computers and caused all of this problem. But what you may not know is that in October 2009, he was the chief technology officer and the executive vice president for McAfee, who accidentally disrupted its customers' operations around the world. Now listen, when it pushed a software update that deleted critical Windows XP system files and caused the affected systems to blue screen and enter into a boot loop, which is what just happened. Okay, so that's where he comes from. He was also participated in Operation Aurora, which was a series of cyber attacks performed by advanced persistent threats such as the Elderwood Group based out of Beijing, China.
In 2010.
Yeah, in 2010.
So that was in 2009, 2010.
So this guy has plenty of experience on not sending out bad stuff. Just saying. Where am I at? Nito says, I had a salesman knock on my door yesterday trying to get people to allow them to put solar panels on their roof for 30% credit off their electric bill. No thanks. No thanks. Funny how they removed the commercial. Homeowner won't own the panels either. Yep. Aren't they all billionaires? Yeah, many of them are. That's for sure. But the story gets worse. So I don't know if you guys have heard or not, Blackstone, not BlackRock, Blackstone acquired Ancestry.com for $4.7 billion, giving the independent investment for total ownership of the DNA from every person who's ever used the service. Apparently, Blackstone began its process back in 2020, and it's just now finalized. For those who are unfamiliar, Blackstone is part of big asset management companies like BlackRock and that been in Vanguard, the people who are the top shareholders of just about every major company. So I took the liberty to look up who owns Blackstone.
Oh, no. Same people.
Blackstone's largest shareholders in order are Vanguard Group, BlackRock, Capital World Investors, and State Street. Yes, they had to destroy all of the evidence of the people that tried to short sell Trump stocks the day before the assassination attempt. Of course they did. There's no coincidences. I feel sorry for people who paid to give the deep state their DNA. What about the 2017 Internet Global meeting where they installed Trojan in loads of global government services? Oh, and it goes far deeper than that. It just isn't in the global services, it's in our transformers. It's in the routers that are in your house. Carrie Davis says no coincidences. Totally agree. There's a reason I greet you with hello neighbors. Can't physically be there, but this channel also helps with ideas and encouragement. Amen. We are a community. Yeah. Monica says they're still in your retirement money. You guys, it's a land of make-believe. That money don't exist. If you don't hold it in your hands, it ain't there. And at the end of the day, I'm telling you, and I've been saying this a long time on my channel, someday they're going to come out and they're going to make the banks the bad guy.
Yeah.
The banks, those evil bankers, those evil corporate bankers. But here's the good news. This government is here to help you. We have a solution. We have a central bank digital currency. We're going to guarantee your money, but even more than that, we're going to give you an extra $5,000 in digital currency just because of the inconvenience. Is our way of saying we care. And then you're hooked.
For $5,000.
And then you'll be asking for permission and you'll live your life on your knees. Yep, I'm so glad my family is too poor and or wise to have done that. Transhumanism and clones. I feel sorry for people who wanted to figure out where they came from, who did it with all the best intention in the world, right? I want to know whether I'm Mongolian or I'm German or whatever it is, right? I want to know these things. And in the end, they paid for them to have it. Yep. Free then forced. My little is exactly right. Could not agree more. Yep. Ha, the worst words to ever heat. Yep. So they can make targeted viruses or vax to eliminate groups they don't want. Of course they can. Why would they have any interest in all of that? Right? I mean, but there would be nobody that would plan that, right? I mean, nobody would plan on certain races, would they? Oh, wait, hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. So I thought I would share with you guys from Klaus Schwab's book, a paragraph out of it that I thought you would find interesting. At least 4 billion useless eaters shall be eliminated by the year 2050 by means of limited wars, organized epidemics, and fast, rapid-acting diseases and starvation. Energy, food, and water shall be kept at subsistence levels for the non-elite, starting with the white population of Western Europe and North America, and then spreading to other races. The population of Canada, Western Europe, and the United States will be decimated more rapidly than the other continents until the world's population reaches a manageable level of 1 billion, of which 500 million will consist of Chinese and Japanese races selected because they are people who have been regimented for centuries and who are accustomed to obeying authority without question.
Wow.
Yep. And then FBI Director Christopher Wray announced that they are increasingly concerned about a coordinated foreign terrorist attack in the United States. The Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban sheds light on George Soros's publicly documented plan to flood the EU with at least 1 million asylum seekers annually. It's a plan. It's about how to change Europe and how to eliminate the push aside from all Christians, conservative, and national-based political leaders and voters. They're trying to push them out. You will own nothing, and you will be happy. Yep. Crazy. Oh, yeah, let's send those white people back to Europe. What? Yep. So, I mean, the guy that, Klaus Schwab, World Economic Forum, and then BlackRock and all them are buying up your DNA. What?
And farmland around you.
And the farmland around you, right? Ammo up. It's just crazy. So, good news. We want to talk about some good things. Keep us safe, right? I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the 911 system has had quite a hard time in the United States of America. And the 911 system, I don't know if you guys know this or not, is mainly regionally or, county by county basis. It's how it's worked. But our leaders, our lords, our kings have found a solution to take the 911 system and make it a federal thing. And they're going to do it through a company called Carbine, and Carbine NG911. And you can look this up. All you got to do is Google it, right? Just like I did. It will be a nationwide 911 system. But here's the cool thing. If you're in trouble, they'll have direct access to your phone and everything in it. So they'll be able to turn your camera on. They'll be able to download your contacts. They'll be able to look at your emails and your text messages all remotely as soon as you dial in to 911. And I know this makes all of you feel safer, and I'm glad I can be part of that experience for you tonight.
Yeah, that sucks.
We might not be able to choose our relatives, but we can choose our family. Yep, homesteading family. David, 100%. 100%. How do you guys feel about this? You feel safer?
No.
Okay.
But less people call.
Yeah. Well, here's some other good news. So geoengineeringmonitor.org, if you remember me saying that, geoengineeringmonitor.org is a website you can now go to. And if you click up there on geoengineering map, it will actually show you where they're manipulating the weather over what state on any given day.
Oh.
They're actually publicly doing it. Now, this is an open website. You can find how they're cloud seeding. You can find how they're dealing with solar radiation. You can find, but it's all out there for the public to see.
I doubt if it's accurate.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of things they don't tell you.
That's what I'm talking
Right.
about.
I mean, I'm sure that's true. Yeah. My little says false security over freedom. Yeah, no way. Amy B says, I feel betrayed. So if I dial in on a rotary dial phone, what they going to get? Yeah, well, and I think today is a good day, Hippocrates, to start the process of carrying your rotary phone in your pocket. Carry it everywhere you go. Make a statement. Be the change, right? Carry your rotary phone. That needs to be a t-shirt. Slimmer twin Islam spread through Europe, pillaging in the early 8th century. Then we had the Crusades to try to get rid of them in the 11th and 12th century. Yeah. Gregory says, all I want is a fire truck to show up when I call it. That's it. Yeah, I don't even want that. What I want is my community to show up when a fire happens. What I want a community where I have our own doctors and we have our own firefighters and we have our own rules and our own things we live by, and based on voluntarism and cooperativism, right? Those are the things that I want. I don't want to depend on the system for anything. Right? So the right to be free of illegal search and seizure was just thrown out the window. Oh, but it's not illegal search and seizure because you requested it. You dialed 911. They didn't call you, right?
That's what I'm saying. I think a lot less people are going to call.
Yep. Never let a crisis go to waste. No, they won't, babe. They'll be in an emergency. They're going to call. They'll call for whatever help they can get. And especially as society erodes, especially as the money system falls apart. Oh, yeah, that's already happening. Especially when the public education system is falling apart. Oh, never mind. That's happening too. Especially when the justice system, nope, that's happening. Especially when right? I mean, as world gets more and more chaotic and more trouble comes, because it certainly will, right? 76% is going to pay the interest on the debt, right? Your minimum payments. They're going to call.
I don't think so. Like, if I see a car accident over there, am I going to just pick up my phone and call so that they can get my information? I was just trying to help those people. I might be like, hey, you, call 911.
Yeah. Let's have access to your phone.
No, I don't want to.
Yeah.
No, you do it.
Hey,
no.
Squatchy, what's up, bud? Says, hi, guys. Been listening for a little bit, and we're kind of in trouble, unfortunately. Yeah, kind of?
Kind of.
Oh, yes. Let's find out the report, our own gardens and such, that pack rat stole it. Wait. Find out and report our, oh, yeah. No, thanks. Yeah, let's report. Let's register our gardens. That's smart. Oh, and don't forget, they made all of the, like medicines you'll need for chickens and cows. Those are all by prescription, which means now they can track that too.
Yeah, they're going to do that anyway, right?
Yeah, speaking of tracking, and I can't believe I didn't mention this, But did you know both the Secret Service and the FBI are now reporting that the way they found the identity of the shooter at the Trump assassination, it was through the records of the firearm purchase. They went through the serial numbers on the AR-15 is how they found his identity ultimately. So what does that tell you?
And it was on his dad's name?
His dad had purchased it. His dad legally had sold it to him. But yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. So that they ended up with his dad, right? But I thought there wasn't a gun registry in this country. How would they have done that? Makes you go,
I thought we had a gun registry.
No.
Well, when I go to the store to buy a gun, they call it in and they have my information.
Yeah, they call in a background check to find out that you're not a serial killer. But then you fill out the paperwork, and then that dealer is supposed to keep it on record for 7 years. And so they probably got a hold of the manufacturer. The manufacturer told them who the gun dealer was that sold it, that they sold it to. Then they went to that gun dealer and got the paperwork to figure out.
That's a lot of legwork.
Right. Defund the cops, but still come help me. Yeah. Yeah. Never confuse legal, moral, and ethical. They are not the same thing. Yep. The system is not reliable, Lazy Loper, and we have to do all we can to break the chains. Arranged marriage is looking good right about now. Need like-minded, non-juiced for real. This is my fear for my children. Yeah. But people are standing up. And there's fights left in us, I'm sure, right? The yellow federal forms are exactly how. Yep. Absolutely crazy. Oh, shit. We're at 2 hours already. Hey, you got any parting words before we get out of here? Because I could just ramble forever.
What is this?
The people who currently own this world don't care which ruler you choose. They care only that you keep choosing to be ruled.
Yeah, left or right.
Right.
I get the freedom to choose.
You get to choose your master. Who are you going to choose this election?
You better make a right decision.
Right.
Well,
because you could end up on the right side of that door or the left side of that door, right?
But either way, they're both going to the slaughterhouse.
Yep. Tim says no legwork at all. Probably took them a couple hours. They say it's just a digital toggle for them to look up. Yep. Yep. Community, not fake immunity. Prepared and not scared. Amen. They found out that quickly, but couldn't find out who put Coke in the White House with all those cameras, right? Or where 30,000 deleted emails went. Yeah, the story goes on and on and on and on. Guys, at the end of the day, you have to take responsibility for yourself. You have to take responsibility for everything that happens in your life. You got to take responsibility for everything. Because if you don't, what you're doing is you're giving that responsibility to somebody else. And if that isn't your community, if that's the electrical co-op, if that's the water company, if that's the grocery store, if that's the education system, if that's the judicial system, no matter what it is, if you're giving that responsibility to them, they own you, they have stroke over you. And so I would challenge all you guys to go break that stroke, right? And go try to live a little bit free. You agree?
That's a good idea.
All right, let's get out of here. What else you got to say?
Hold the line.
Don't
Don't an inch.
Be out.
Be out.
Tag out. See you, everybody. See you on Friday.